this is Gray Fox.
And I'm Vixen.
And welcome to another Battlebox review.
Yes, we have actually not one, not two, but three.
Three
boxes.
Holy moly. Well, two are actual boxes. So we're going to do Mission 45 first. And then we're going to do a Customer Appreciation box. And then we're going to do a Mission 44. So it's kind of like the good, the nice, and the, well, you'll see. So anyways, so for Mission 45, which is the Hunting 2.0 box,
Yes.
it came with the green sheet of doom, which means that, of course, there's going to be something missing from the box. So they couldn't get all of the Knife of the Month knives in time, so they sent this out saying that essentially you could either wait for your box with the knife, or you could have your box sent and then they just send you the knife separately. Luckily, I do have the knife to show you because they were nice enough to send me one. Patrick at Battlebox was nice enough to send me one.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you, Patrick. And then we'll go from there. I'll let you know that when I did get my box, it was missing the blow dart gun, but they quickly corrected that issue and got it out to me right away. So for having the issue, they did send us I think they sent everybody a Battlebox cup, which is, you know, a nice little tumbler. It is thin, but I mean it's a cup. It'll work out just fine.
Right.
Now, I did hear that some people's cups were broken. I don't know if those were in colder areas where I guess the plastic could get more less flexible. But in Florida here, I mean, I'm sure this thing got banged around pretty good, and I didn't have any issues. But where it's cold, I would imagine it would be, you know, a lot more brittle.
Which apparently is everywhere but here in Florida.
It's quite possible. But anyways, so, you know, it's a nice little, it didn't cost us anything. It's just a throw-in, which is nice. But it was a good, you know, it was good looking out by Battlebox.
Right. And you like those sort of cups.
I do. I use them all the time. So no, it's great. So again, these things happen from these suppliers from time to time, and it's happened I think 3 times now, total.
Yeah, over all the years.
Right, over all the years.
So that's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. And they are very quick about getting the knives out afterwards. But I was actually really excited about this box, to be honest. And after getting it, well, we'll go over it, but honestly, I can tell you right now, I did like this box, the Hunting 2.0 box. So let's go through it one by one and talk about the stuff. All right.
So in the basic box, the $24.99 cost, the first item we have is the 24-inch collapsible blow gun.
That's right there. So I'm actually not going to take this out of the plastic, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm actually going to gift this to my son, who's wanted one of these collapsible ones for a long time. So it's a blow dart gun. Essentially, I've been using blow dart guns for a very long time. Here's my very old blow dart gun. Got to fit it in. It's very long. This one, of course, is much shorter. But essentially, it has a part that you put your mouth on and you blow the dart out. It's pretty simple. You could use it for squirrels and stuff, I guess, or small game if you found it necessary. But for me...
Some of our neighbors do that.
Yeah, they do, actually. But for us, for me, it's always been just kind of a fun thing to screw around with.
Yeah. We've put a target on a piece of cardboard and, you know, put it out by the pool and done that out there.
Yeah, I've messed around with the kids for years with blow dart guns.
Backyard.
In the backyard and whatever, shooting tires, not on a car, but old tires and things like that with targets on them. You know, so they're just kind of fun to screw around with. So, but anyway, so yeah, cool little thing. I guess you could use it for small game, but I probably wouldn't. I'd probably just use a 22 unless it was the apocalypse and you had no more 22 bullets, I guess. But other than that, it's just a fun little thing to do, to screw around with.
Apparently, you know, season 9 of Walking Dead, they run out of bullets.
They run out of bullets, so we'll see. What's up?
So next up we have Smith's Field Caping knives. It's a 3-pack.
Yep, that's these.
Okay.
So there's 3 knives in here. They're kind of, they're not really disposable because you can get replacement blades for them. But essentially they, let's see if I can do this better than, I watched Curran's video today and he had a hell of a time with this. So I'd imagine I'm probably going to have the same hell of a time with this. So I'm going to try to make this quick. And it's probably not going to work, but that's alright. I'm not going to edit. So suck it up, Buttercup. I'm just going to take one of these out. There we go.
Okay. So
essentially, it's just a plastic holder for a blade. The nice thing about these are basically razor blades, so it's going to be razor sharp. And you can use these for anything you need to use them for, up to and including skinning an animal or whatever else you may need a knife for. So cool little disposable knives. I think it's a cool little kit. The fact you get 3 of them is kind of neat, and they're comfortable in the hand, comfortable enough for you to be able to really get comfortable in skinning. You have to have a lot of finesse when you're skinning, so that you're not getting a lot of hair in the meat, and so that you're not cutting into things you don't want to cut into, and you're taking the skin from the meat. Bless you. The skin from the meat, and not adding meat to the skin when you're taking it off. Especially if you're going to tan the hide, you want to be very careful with that. But anyway, so having a nice sharp knife at all times is crucial to skinning, which is why I'm always coming up with new skinner knives that I make, because having the right knife is so important.
Okay. So next up we have Dakota Line snares. What's those?
So they're snares. They're actually really good size snares. I saw these. I actually really like them. I'll grab one out. If I can grab one that's not attached to everything else here. Come on, let go. Just need one. There we go. So essentially, you have a snare. So you have this end here, the long end, alright? You make your loop and the animal comes through and walks through and it got snared.
Oh.
Uh-huh. Anyways.
You're not going to test that out on the dogs, are you?
Not today. Although, not today. We'll just leave it at that.
They have been kind of
but anyway, so you
lately.
get 3 pretty nice snares, which is pretty cool. And they have a pretty cool lockup mechanism for holding them stiff, which is kind of nice. So yeah, I mean, you can catch everything up to a coyote, I guess, with something like this. So, yeah, pretty nice.
Okay. So, last up in the basic box is the Ultimate Guide to Home Butchering.
The Ultimate Guide to Home Butchering. So, knowledge is power, of course, as we always say. So lots of good pictures on how to butcher an animal and, clean it up and do what you got to do. So pretty cool. Everything up to and including fish. So it's definitely useful. If you haven't cleaned up a lot of small game and you haven't butchered a lot of small game, it's worth a read. Even if you have, like, in just thumbing through here, I saw some things that are probably a better way of doing it than I've been doing it probably for my whole life. So it's definitely worth a glance through to check it out. If you've ever wanted to know how
pictures.
to, and if you've ever wanted to know how to properly cut up a chicken or a turkey, there's a better way than probably what you've been doing it forever. They actually show you the right way of doing it, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll leave that stuff to you.
I know you will. Always have.
Not even fish.
No.
All right. So next up is the Advanced Box, the $49.99 cost. We have 2 items. We have the Outdoor Edge Zip Pro.
So this is pretty cool. Curran said he had been using Brandon. Curran, I guess. People know him as Curran, right?
Yeah.
So he's been using one of these for a long time, I guess. But it was a fixed blade, and this is a folder version of that knife. And I've never used one like this, ever. But basically for a gut hook type knife where you are very careful that you don't cut the stomach lining as you're, zipping down or zipping up, the stomach, I think that's really cool. I can actually think of a couple of different uses for this, but as far as that goes, this is just a perfect type knife for that. And it is wicked, wicked sharp. So yeah, cool thing that I honestly didn't know existed. So, very cool.
Yeah. All right, and the next item is the Silent Retriever.
The Silent Retriever.
Yeah, you were pretty excited about this one.
Well, yeah, because when you're up in a deer stand and you drop something, it sucks. It's horrible because you'd have to climb down to get it, and it's just a big pain in the butt. And so usually what happens is you leave it until you come down at the end of the night, as long as it's not, your bow or something like that that's necessary. But anyway, so this has got two really sharp hooks on it. It's kind of cool. Almost looks like a fishing lure of sorts, right?
Okay, I could see that.
But anyway, so you can just tie some 550 cord on this, and then you drop it down and scoop up whatever you got to pick up, which I thought was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not making a lot of noise, and you're not having a whole lot of issues. So I'm actually excited to try to use this thing. It'll definitely be in my kit, my hunting kit. So very cool.
Okay. All right, so that was everything in the advanced box. We're on to the pro box.
Okay.
First up in the pro box, the $99.99 cost, Outdoor Edge Wild Pack.
Okay, so it comes in this nice, pack, which I guess you could probably double use this as a cutting board maybe. But anyways, or at least it's something flat, that you can set stuff on. Anyway, so here's this kit. So it comes with, this is a sharpener, and it has 3 different knives, which are pretty cool. And then on the bottom, let me see, yeah, you can see that. You have a bone saw, and then you have a rib spreader, which is kind of cool, and then it comes with some gloves. I'd probably change these gloves off with the ones that I like. I like the purple gloves. I just do because I can see blood on them real easy, and anyways, that way I know when my hands are, I need to change my gloves out. But anyways, so yeah, I mean it comes with the gloves, the bone saw, the 3 knives, and then the sharpener, which is pretty cool, all in one kit, and handy dandy. I mean, there's even some room in here that you could put some other stuff in here, which is pretty cool. But yeah, nice kit. Fit nice in a pack, fit nice in a car, or on an ATV, and yeah, very cool. I got a buddy of mine that would absolutely love this, that hunts for boar all the time.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
But yeah, very cool. So neat.
Okay.
I like it.
I don't know if you want to give it up to somebody else, though. I think.
Oh, I'm not gonna, but I might order another one for him.
Okay.
That dude treats us pretty good, so.
Yeah. So next up in the pro box we have I'm guessing that's pronounced Mickle Hawk arrowhead set with carrying case.
So it's this little case of
Maybe it's Michael Hawk.
who knows. So you're not gonna be able to see these, but there's a case of arrowheads. I don't know how easy these are gonna come out. Oh yeah, so good. This one's got a real funky serrations to it, right? I don't know. That's gonna be a bugger to get back in there without cutting the thing.
Wow.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got it. And this one's just like a standard arrowhead. Dear Lord. And this one's a frog gig. I'll be putting those back in later. And this is kind of a rounded type arrowhead. And this one's got kind of a double head to it, double points to it. which would suck trying to pull that out of an animal. But anyways, so it's like 4 arrowheads. And you know what I like about them is that it comes in this super simple little kit. I mean, it doesn't take up any space whatsoever. I don't know if I'd ever use them though.
I don't know.
I can't think that I would. I can't think what I would, because I mean, when I go bow hunting, I'm bringing my broadheads and you know all that stuff with me that I really like when I go bow hunting. And in a survival kit, the only reason I would consider it is because it doesn't take up any space. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would use this or not.
Okay. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
So that brings us to the Pro Plus, the Knife of the Month Club.
All right, Knife of the Month Club.
Knife of the Month Club.
So it is a
Buck and Bear Knives
Buck and
Survival
Bear.
Piranha.
The Survival Piranha. So we met the Buck and Bear's owners at Blade Show this past year. At least I did. You can't remember, I don't think.
I don't remember.
But I did.
I know, it's awful.
So it's it has a nice clip. Did I lock it or unlock it? I unlocked it. Okay, so it has a nice Tech Lock style clip, which you can of course turn, you know, to different angles, and it does lock closed. But it's a nice black wash D2 blade. What I like about it is this little hook at the bottom here. This little hook here fits perfectly in my hand, right underneath my fingers. So you get a really good purchase on it. You don't feel like it's going to pull, you know, pull back or pull out or fall out of your hand. So if you were cutting on something, you could pull out very easily. But it's a comfortable knife. You know, it has G10 scales, which have a good purchase, good grip to them. It's actually a pretty thick blade, but has a nice full flat grind on it. And I like D2 steel. It sharpens really nice and stays sharp really nice. I actually went on the site because Buck and Bears, actually, for those of you who weren't able to get your knife, which I know is, I think all of you, they had a coupon for 50% off at Buck and Bear. I did use that, and I bought a bunch of Christmas presents. I actually bought 6 knives from them, and I got, you know, the 50% off. So actually no, I bought 3 and 3 is what I did. You can only use the coupon once, by the way, so if you want more than that, make sure you put it all in there. But I used the 3 with the 50% off, and then they have a deal on there right now where if you buy 2 you get 1 free, and I did that on the second purchase. So I got rid of a lot of Christmas presents that I wanted, and they have some really cool stuff on there.
Right.
Really, you know, classy, elegant styles, nice stuff. So I was pretty impressed with it. But anyways, so yeah, I'm happy with this knife. I was gonna, you know, get a Buck and Bear last year at Blade Show, but I bought so much other stuff I never got around to it.
Right.
You know, and by the time I was done buying stuff, I was like, I knew I couldn't buy any more. Right? It was like, no, I've got enough. It's enough. Enough. But anyways, I love knives. I'm a huge fan and a collector of knives. So, and I make knives, as you guys know. So, yeah, what do I think of this knife? I think it's really cool. I think it's nice. It's a nice knife. Did you put it in your hand?
I did not. You didn't share it with me.
I'm sorry.
So.
You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's definitely big for my hand.
Try to hold the camera.
It's definitely big for my hand. My little hand, you know, there's room for yet another finger down here.
Well, choke back a little bit.
So,
yeah.
Either way I go, it's just a little bit big for me. But I like the way it looks. It's just a cool looking knife.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with it. I like the company. I think that their prices are very reasonable for what you're getting. You
I
know,
like their
I
logo
don't
there.
know that one.
Alexa doesn't know that one. Hmm. Yep.
I like their logo. That's
Yeah,
actually
pretty
kind of
cool.
cool.
All right.
All right.
We have a lot of stuff to go through, man. So,
I know.
so what do I think about this box? I think this box is awesome. And I know that some people were expecting me to be unhappy with this box, but there's nothing to be unhappy about. I think there's everything in here is fantastic. I mean, the blow dart gun, just turns out that my youngest son wanted one that was collapsible like that. So that's perfect for me. The arrowheads are the only thing that I think I probably won't use.
And it's not that they're cool. It just,
I don't think I have a use
I
for
don't know that
them.
we have a use for them.
Right. So all in all, I think this box is great. So
Okay.
that's my opinion.
Gotcha. So I'm not into hunting at all. Not at all. If I was, I would think that this box was cool. I'm happy that Gray really likes this box. So I do think it's one of the better boxes in a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well. All right. So
Moving on.
moving on. So Mission 45, good to go. And then we got a customer appreciation box.
Yeah.
Which, if you're a subscriber to Battlebox for any amount of time, eventually you'll end up with a customer appreciation box. And they're usually different. Different people get different things in the appreciation boxes. Some people get challenge coins, some people get clothing, some people get, bags and stuff like that. And there's just random stuff that goes in these boxes. For us, we got some bags. So they sent me a nice Battlebox range bag, which is pretty cool. Nice big range bag, which will definitely get some use. They sent me this pouch, which will definitely get some use for collecting and foraging or whatever you're going to do. I mean, realistically, you could take it. I mean, I've recently went skeet shooting, and this would be great for keeping shells in for skeet shooting.
Right.
And then they sent me this other bag here, which is like a multi-divider type bag, which is really cool. It has a zipper that goes around it, but I don't know why. I mean, it must be a pocket of sorts on the sides. Yeah, it is. Just pockets.
Okay.
So it has pockets on both sides. So, I mean, just a really cool, tote everything type bag.
Right. And the dividers come out. It's not like they're fixed in one place. There's Velcro on the inside.
Yep.
So you can move
Move 'em
those
around.
dividers around as you need them.
So really cool. Thank you, Battlebox.
Thank you.
I appreciate your appreciation. So,
We appreciate you appreciating us.
Yep. Okay, so next up, let me grab it. I'm gonna have to reach the card.
Okay.
All right. Well, this is Mission 44,
Bushcraft.
which is Bushcraft. Now, the last Bushcraft box was one of my favorites. So, bear with us on this one. Go ahead.
Okay. So in the basic box, the $24.99 cost. The first item is the complete guide to edible plants.
Complete Guide to Edible Plants. Like I've always said, knowledge is power, and this has lots of good pictures of different edible plants. This is actually a really worthwhile book for a oh shit scenario, where you end up, out in the woods and you gotta find stuff to eat. A buddy of ours, actually the same guy we were talking about earlier, his name is Rob, and he's a good guy. He knows like all the edible plants in Florida, so he walks around our yard and says, hey, you can eat that, and we'll try different things. And it's interesting that some things are very citrusy and some things actually taste good, but it's not something you would ever think to pick and eat,
Right.
Except
he does. He comes over to our house
he
and
just,
goes right to our
oh,
yard.
look at this, and he has all their scientific names and picks at it. He's just a cool guy, but
Right.
he knows all that stuff, and I'm sure that, a book like this is maybe where he learned it from, but it's definitely a worthwhile read, at least to see what's edible in your area, if for nothing else, for like I said, an oh shit scenario type thing.
Right.
So yeah, so
We're,
I don't mind the book at all.
we're accumulating quite the library.
Yeah, I know.
So next up we have Chaga Hunt,
Chunks.
Chaga Chunks.
Yeah, so these are like a mushroom that you can make tea with. I guess they're somewhat ember flammable. I don't know. It's probably something that we're not going to use ever for anything. I mean, it's an interesting thought, but it's just not for us.
Not gonna happen.
No.
So next up we have Wazoo Foraging Bandana.
So this is the freaking ugliest bandana I've ever seen. It reminds me of, like, you know, Aunt Ethel, you know, like a dress that Aunt Ethel would wear.
So I'm sorry for all the Aunt Ethels out there.
You know what I'm talking
But
about, though?
yes,
it's like
pretty
the
awful.
wallpaper she had in her kitchen. You know what I mean?
In 1962.
In 1960, it's still there. But yeah, she loves it that much. But I mean, it's interesting. It has all the edible plants on it. So yeah, it's interesting. But again, it's not going to get much use by us anyways.
So next up we have Edible Wilderness Playing Cards.
Okay. So again, under the same principle, it's different. It's like the book. It's different ways of finding, foraging edibles that are wild. Different things you can eat in the wild. So yeah. And again, in a no shit scenario, that's great. And just for fun, I guess it would be cool, but I don't think we're going to get a whole lot of use out of it. Just saying.
Probably not. And next up we have Flavored Crickets.
Okay, so we got some sour cream and onion flavored crickets, which I will not be eating at all. I have no idea why they would have put these in here, but whatever. I mean, it's fun and interesting, but it's not. It's kind of gross, actually. I had to eat, a lot of bugs and different stuff when I was in the Marine Corps and survival training. No way I would choose to do it on my own unless I was in that scenario. So hopefully if I ever end up in an oh shit scenario where I have to eat crickets, they taste like sour cream and onion. I'm hoping.
So we used to have lizards that we used to have to feed things like this to.
And this.
And those especially.
Yeah.
Which
Grub
are
worms.
the flavored larvettes.
Yeah, which are cheddar cheese, which again,
Not going to happen.
not going to happen at all.
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah. So far in this box, it's basically all been around wild edibles, right?
The only salvageable thing in there is really the book. The book is going to go in the library with
It's
the
going to
other
go in the
books.
library, but I just don't think I'm going to pull it out for some light reading.
It's not even like bathroom
I mean,
reading
like
material.
in 45, the butcher book, I'll actually use it. I'll bring it in the kitchen and use it. You know what I mean? I'll be like, oh, okay, I'll do it this way. Or I'll take it out with me the next time I'm, butchering up a boar or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it with me just to look through it and use it. But the wild edible things, I'm just not into it.
No.
And maybe some of you are really into that stuff. I'm just really not. The only reason I would use something like that is shit would have to be real bad.
They do have an expiration date. Best by August 27 of 2020.
All right. Well, if we ever get that desperate by 2020, we'll be all right. I mean, the bandana serves multiple purposes, but it's just so goddamn ugly that I don't think I'll use it. That's just my opinion. Isn't it?
It's pretty awful.
It's pretty damn awful.
All right. So going into the advanced box,
Mm-hmm.
we have two items. The first one is Lord and Field farmhand knife.
So this is one of two things in this box that I thought were really cool. So it has a nice canvas micarta handle, and it's an old school lock blade. I like the hawkbill style to it, and it reminds me of a knife that my grandfather used back in the day. Just the shape of it, because he used to use it for, picking different things and whatnot, and kind of whittling off stuff, and that's why I kind of like it. More so because it's nostalgic to me.
Well, it's kind of old school. It's made to look like the knife that your grandpa would have handed down to you.
Yeah, it's just kind of cool, It has this, and the micarta has this really cool, almost alligator-esque,
Yeah,
see what I'm talking about?
yeah, I see it.
Yeah, it's just really kind of a neat knife. I really like
Okay.
this knife, actually. It's something that I would throw in my pocket, and I would definitely use. Doesn't take up any space, and it has a nice lock back, and the nice thing about lock backs is you don't have to worry about them coming undone because they're super solid locking mechanisms. It seems old school to some people, but in reality, I don't think you can get a stronger mechanism than a lock back. So, very cool.
Okay. So next up we have Lord and Field canvas trail bag.
Canvas trail bag. Okay, that's got to be this thing. So I haven't actually opened this yet. Hang on. But I think this was the other thing that I thought I was going to like. So it's nice leather on the outside, and then you can snap it onto your belt. It has the two snaps to snap it on your belt. And it unsnaps. You actually have and it's already waxed, which is cool. So you have a nice trail bag, that you can zipper closed and whatnot. And then when you're done with it, you just fold it back up, snap it back down, and it doesn't take up any space on your belt. This I like. This is something that would definitely get some use, that will actually get some use with me, because I'll just put it on my belt. When I go out in the woods, I'm almost like Batman. I got crap all over my utility belt, right? Just because, I have all sorts of things that I have if I want, right? I mean, I've got one of those wazoo belts where you can put stuff in it, and so I've got some stuff in it, and then I've got stuff on it that I think I'm going to use, knives and, sometimes depending on where I'm going, my pistol and things like that. So, but this definitely has a place for when I'm out in the woods. So very cool.
Okay.
I like it.
All right. So now we're up to the Pro Box, the $99.99 cost. The first item we have is the waxed canvas rugged twill log carrier.
Okay. Sometimes this thing's gonna be pretty big. We're in Florida, so we really don't need. We don't have a fireplace, I should say. So we really don't need a log carrier.
No.
And when we do have a fire pit outside, our log pile is within a few feet. But I could see where, if you did have a lot of logs, this log carrier would be handy to carry logs in. And it's waxed out, and it's nice. It's a nice, thick log carrier. Again, I don't know, you can feel how thick and waxed it is.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
If I had a use for it, when I lived in Wisconsin, I would have had a use for this because the log pile was outside and the fireplace was, of course, inside. Here, my fire pit is outside and my logs are outside. But anyways, so I really don't have a use for it, but if you did have a use for it, this is a pretty nice log carrier.
Okay. So, and next up in the Pro Box, we have Mora Knife 511 knife.
More knives are always handy. They're inexpensive, they're sharp, and they definitely serve a purpose. Um, they're just a nice kind of throw in a kit knife because they're inexpensive and they stay pretty sharp. So yeah, nothing wrong with a Moore knife.
Didn't we get one in the,
Fishing box.
it was a fishing box?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we use that thing all the time and totally not for its intended purpose, but
Yeah.
for all kinds of stuff around the house,
Yeah,
actually.
no, it works good.
That one gets a lot of use, so maybe this one might too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that brings us to the Pro Plus, the Knife of the Month Club.
Knife of the month. So I wanted to be really excited about this because I thought it was a cool concept. So it has a leather sheath, and it has red stitching, which is a nice flare touch. Brass rivets. It has. I'm not a fan of Velcro on a knife like this because when you take it out in the woods, you get all sorts of crap in the Velcro. So I don't like that they use Velcro. They should use snaps on there.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably cheaper to use Velcro, but the Velcro gets gnarly out in the woods. So I like a snap. A snap is more positive. And then the knife itself.
Which, look at that, there is a snap there.
There is a snap, right? So I really wanted to like this knife. And it's not a bad knife per se. However, the fit and finish of this knife is not very good. So I understand that these companies have to make just tons of knives for Battlbox, and they're probably in a hurry, but they just didn't do a very good job with this knife. They didn't fit the handles properly. In fact, one of the screws was loose on it, and I tightened it up. The liners are really cool, but you can tell that as a knife maker, when you do liners on a knife, you have to be very careful to fit the liners properly. Otherwise, when you go to do a final sand on the knife, you end up screwing up the liners. And that's exactly what they did here. That's why the liners are black instead of red up here.
And in the back here, too, same thing. There's a little bit.
Yeah, because they burned it out. They burned out the liner. Which means, A, either there was too much glue, or B, the liner wasn't fit properly. And then as you come around the sides of this top portion here, they didn't round it properly. It looks like it's flat instead of rounded here, but on this side it's rounded. So it's just and if you look at the top here, you see that nipple right there.
Yeah.
And you see where it's kind of that.
Yeah.
Right there.
And there's definitely quite a few imperfections in the knife.
Right. And
and the worst part for me, honestly, is that I'm pretty sure you made a similar knife as a gift for somebody else, but you did it better.
well, why does that surprise you?
Well, because you would think that, a big knife company that makes millions of dollars would do a really good job.
I don't know if they make millions of dollars, but
Okay,
definitely something.
thousands of dollars.
Yeah, something that's in
hundreds of
mass
thousands of dollars.
production.
Right.
Something that's in mass production, you would think that they would have everything cut to fit and that everything would be done nicely. Now, even Tops knives, which here, let me grab this. So this is a Tops Quick Skin. So you can see the fit and finish is perfect, and then if you look at those liners, the liners are perfect on both sides. But then if you look at the liners on this, you'll see the liners are kind of burnt out. So all in all, the fit and finish of the knife isn't that great, and it's altogether not the most comfortable knife. Will it work as a knife? Absolutely, but it's just not that fantastic. I'm a little disappointed in the knife, to be honest.
So they're putting the retail value of the knife at $130, and I think the vast majority of that is actually the sheath.
Well, the sheath is nice.
Well, except for the Velcro.
Yeah, except for the Velcro. Yeah, I didn't like that. But anyways, that about wraps it up. Just not really happy with this box, to be honest. You know, some people are really disappointed they didn't get a knife in this month's box for Mission 45, and it's going to be coming a little bit later, but shit happens. That doesn't upset me at all.
No, that didn't upset me at all. Things happen, you know, and historically, Battlebox has always made good on those.
Yep.
And then some, so I have no problem with that.
Yep.
Where they lost me was in Mission 44 with all of the edibles in the
Yeah,
case.
I didn't feel the value in Mission 44. That's the first time that I haven't felt that the box had the value that I would want it to have, right?
Yeah.
Every mission has always had redeemable things.
Right.
This one, there's a couple of things, and they were less expensive things that I thought were something that I would use or that benefited me or us that I thought was good, right? And the fact that I like that folder better than I do the knife of the month is kind of sad, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, enough about that. I don't like to be negative, but I'm always going to be honest. So,
Right.
other than that, Battlebox, I got a ton of respect for you guys. I think you do a fantastic job. You know, we pay for our boxes happily because, you know, 99.9% of the time we feel we're getting our value.
Right.
Just this, or more than our value. This time, just for Mission 44, just wasn't for us. 45, absolutely.
So we got 44 and we opened it up. We were pretty excited about it, and then it was like wah wah wah.
Yeah.
Followed very quickly by the customer appreciation box, which we were like, oh, cool.
Right,
We weren't
exactly.
expecting this at all.
Yeah.
And then Mission 45 definitely is redeeming.
Right. So if anybody's still watching at this
So.
point, you're probably on day 3 of this video. We appreciate you watching. We're sorry we haven't been around a lot lately. We've just been busy as hell. But we look forward to putting more content out. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. We appreciate all that.
And we appreciate all of you.
Have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Peace. Stay
See ya.
foxy.
Wow, we are so out of it.
Yeah, it's been too long. All right. Bye.